FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Tonight from historic old Hinkle Fieldhouse, it's the UC Irvine Anteaters and the Butler Bulldogs. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. This is Doug Gottlieb. And Butler has won 49 consecutive non-conference home games. But UC Irvine is very good. They've won 10 straight road games and are the pick to win the Big West.
Yeah, if you thought UC who is this team? This is going to be some Butler blowout. This UC Irvine team's won 10 consecutive road games. They returned 5 starters from last year, added 2 grad transfers. I think we got an excellent game here at lovely Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Yes, we do, and our lineups are sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Max Hazard hit 10 three-pointers in 1 game earlier this year. Leonard will also get the start, and Galloway is their defensive force down low. Thompson, Baldwin, 2 dynamic defenders, not only in the Big East, but in the country. Jorgensen and McDermott can hit it from outside.
And you get a look at Kamar Baldwin, who basically ambidextrous, struggling from 3 so far this year, but he is the one guy that Butler's going to call on to break down a defense at the end of the shot clock. And look, basically this is Butler playing a lot more perimeter-oriented, 4-out, 1-in basketball against a UCI team that looks more like a Big East club with 2 big bruising bodies inside.
Yes, they are well coached, and it's Butler in blue and UC Irvine in white. This is Thompson coming off a terrific game in their victory over Presbyterian. Jorgensen misses and is controlled by the Anteaters, a good rebounding team.
The game's going up and down. It favors Butler. Game gets in a half-court slugfest. It favors UCI.
And they showed that in their road game earlier this week in a victory over Eastern Michigan. We have a foul against UC Irvine, and it's against Evan Leonard. And there's Russell Turner in his 9th year. Boy, has he done a great job in Irvine.
And the first 8 years he's been on campus at UCI, he's won 4 league titles. Great Division III player in his own right in Virginia. And in Sydney, he's their all-time leading scorer.
5 postseasons the last 8 years with Coach Turner. This is Jorgensen looking for an opening down low. Fowler turns and knocks down a 12-footer.
Nate Fowler's trimmed up a little bit, lost about 10 pounds since last offseason. And he is their one true low post threat. And the Ohio product can step out and knock down a 10-footer.
Max Hazard misses the 3, and it's Jorgensen with the rebound.
You mentioned Hazard, 10 threes going back 2 games ago.
Fowler gets called the offense.
Yeah, Fowler gets called for a moving screen. It wasn't set before he came up, set the drag screen.
How about Laval Jordan? He was coached by the athletic director here, Barry Collier. What a great guard, and we had a delightful time talking with him after practice today.
And of course, he got some head coaching experience at UW-Milwaukee before coming back home to Butler. He seemed thrilled that his wife decided they were going to host 40 family members for a Christmas dinner. I match your offensive foul with my own offensive foul.
He told us he won't cook, but that he can cook. There's Laval. He comes from a storied background since 2010. Butler has posted 16 NCAA tournament wins, tied for 9th in the nation.
When Chris Holtman left to go up to Ohio State to get a hefty and deserved pay raise, there was really only one call that Barry Collier knew he needed to make. And though it had not hit yet at UW-Milwaukee, Val Jordan went to Michigan, learned about that system from John Beilein, and improved his stock.
He's done a very good job here in Butler, and of course the Big East is a basketball-heavy conference. This is Robert Cartwright, the transfer from Stanford. And a traveling violation is called against the Anteaters, so their second turnover. Third turnover, I beg your pardon.
Big Elston Jones, a transfer from Utah State. Utah State, the one team that really blitzed UC Irvine. Their only loss of the year, that was at home. They were down 20 much of the second half.
Yeah, that really surprised me. Utah State is very good, but Irvine at home can be very difficult against any California school. Cartwright works the middle. Evan Leonard is bumped by Kamar Baldwin. That is Kamar's first personal foul.
Well, through the different incarnations of Butler, the one thing that has remained is physicality at the defensive end. We talked a lot with LaVall Jordan about it, but it has kind of evolved over time where now you can't play as much with your hands, you got to play with your legs. And this is a dynamic defensive backcourt with two super quick lateral point guards.
Baldwin at 6'1", Thompson at 6'2", but both long arm. Inside goes UC Irvine, missing the shot is Elston Jones, but he gets it back and gets fouled. And that is the personal foul against Joey Brunk, redshirt sophomore from here in Indianapolis.
Normally at UC Irvine or a Big West level school, you don't get the quality of big guy you're going to get in Elston Jones. Of course, after the coaching change in Utah State, he chose to change locations.
Both parents played at New Mexico State. He's only a 64% foul shooter.
Nothing. I've done that. Take a breath, get up there, and knock down the second one. There you go.
See? Made the adjustment. What do you think Russell Turner is going to have to do for his UC Irvine team to go on the road again to knock off a very good home team in Butler?
Well, look, they actually have a ton of depth on this club as McDermott comes over with a quick three. And you just can't let Butler go on runs. You have to run them off the three-point line and then make them play half-court defense.
Cartwright working the point. He's done a very good job on Max Hazard, who's only taken one shot. And the rebound controlled by Brunk, who's averaging close to 5 boards a game. Baldwin, well defended by Cartwright. And they go down low and score, and Butler opens up a 6-point lead on a Baldwin 2.
What a great find he was for this program. Scored over 2,500 points in high school in Georgia. A tremendous mid-range score showing some low post game.
This is Tommy Rutherford, number 42, setting the screen. There's the pick and roll. He was open momentarily, but they couldn't find him. Galloway backs his way in and scores. That's their first field goal. It took them almost 5 minutes to hit their first field goal. McDermott is their best three shooter, but more of a catch and shoot guy. Oh, that's a nice move. Not only by Paul Jorgensen, but the guy who went down to get the screen first and then rolled to the bucket in Joey Brunk. How about that defense by Thompson?
That'll just wear you out.
Rutherford travels.
Well, you mentioned McDermott, and McDermott's ability to shoot the basketball commands so much respect on this, whether he's coming off of a screen or whether he's just standing outside wide open. Now McDermott lets it fly, and then you chase him, and Joey Brunk gets a layup. Dogs. Up 6 early.
The Anteaters, that's a popular name, but they trail the Bulldogs by 6 points. Happy holidays to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. And this is our Twitter poll question. Doug Gottlieb wants to know what he thinks are the best nicknames in college basketball. A, the Anteaters, C, the Spiders, B, the Blue Hose. What about the Banana Slug?
Well, that's Division III. If you want to go UC Santa Cruz, that could be other. Just go to @CBB on Fox, and you can write in and vote whoever you'd like.
And you know, Doug, I think 3 nicknames that are underrated because they're so popular: Fighting Irish, Jayhawks, Longhorns. I think those are really cool nicknames.
What's interesting about the Blue Hose, that's Presbyterian from North Carolina. They actually played in here earlier this week. So, doing Anteaters of UCI.
I mean, you've got
the Spiders I like because my wife and kids are all scared of spiders, and they're part of everyday life.
And of course, you've got the regulars like the Lions and Tigers and Bears of Mayan. Right now it is Jorgensen going deep for 3, and Butler's up by 9.
And Russ Turner went to a little trap out of a 2-3 zone out of a timeout. Butler was ready, and Paul Jorgensen, that was just way too easy for him. That's great preparation from LaVall Jordan and his staff.
Well, LaVall was very concerned about their slow start against Presbyterian, but he's off to a good start in this one. And the rebound controlled by Rutherford, but another turnover by the Anteaters, their 5th already.
Now here's a play previously where Joey Brunk gets led. Watch as he rolls, and Jonathan Galloway, number 5, you'd think he's supposed to help, and the problem is that McDermott's such a good shooter. Part of what makes Butler work offensively is their spacing and their use of shooters to make you decide, do I guard a roller or do I guard the shooter? 2-3 zone. UCI was almost strictly a 2-3 zone team about 2 years ago. That's when they went and played Eastern Michigan going back 2 nights ago. They knew they were prepared.
What a beautiful pass by Thompson. Unfortunately for Butler, they cannot finish.
And Thompson was a special player. LaVall Jordan could not be more full of praise for his leadership. And everybody watching the ball. McDermott cuts. Nice little low angle bounce pass. Make that one.
Yeah, if you're McDermott, you're saying after that beautiful pass, you want to be able to finish. Now here's Hazard. Work it down low. Butler's defense has been good down low. And knocking him down is Elston Jones, but they scored just their 2nd field goal of the game.
McDermott, he sold a little bit. He probably got knocked over, but Elston Jones, such a talented low-post player at 260 pounds, 6'9".
And they're used to that kind of physicality here in the Big East Conference. Brunk with the screen and roll. Baldwin had it slapped from behind nicely by Cartwright.
That's where you show
Butler.
That's where you show that he's basically ambidextrous. You know, he goes up with his left hand, gets blocked with his left, and gets it and finishes it with his right hand.
Yeah, he shoots left, but right's right.
Yes. Since the time he was 6 years old, coaches couldn't figure out if he was left-handed or right-handed.
Rutherford
yes.
misses the 3. Oh, that's a beautiful move by Jorgensen, but unable to finish. And here comes Irvine the other way. John Edgar with 2. So back-to-back buckets by Irvine, and they've cut Butler's lead to 7.
Butler did a lot of work in prepping for this 2-3 kind of matchup zone. Because they play 4 out, 1 in, you'll see their guards flash into that high post.
Brunk. He got hit on the side of the arm, but no foul call. And it is out of bounds to the Anteaters. We have a commercial break at the 12:03 mark of this game. Well, actually, we're going to have substitutions here for the 12-minute TV break. Yep. We will at the next stoppage of play. Edgar misses. And it's punched out to Nate Fowler. Cartwright has Thompson. McDermott missing the 3. And the ball slapped free but controlled by McDermott. He has it stripped.
What a play from Cartwright. Cartwright, that's his 2nd block as a point guard coming from behind.
Looking low to Jones. Elston backs his way in. Left hand hook will not go. And it's controlled by Butler.
I think some fans, and maybe more in high school basketball, you think when you have a team full of shooters, you don't want to play zone. But oftentimes, players have a tendency to stand. And because Butler's such a good man-to-man team, But any work against zone is just working against the zone. It's not something you do every day in practice.
McDermott off the dribble misses. Jones rebounding.
This zone has taken Butler out of their offensive rhythm. We pointed out McDermott, a catch-and-shoot guy, and that's his second off the dribble miss.
Butler has not scored in the last 2.5 minutes.
That's where they want to go. They want to go in the low post where McDermott's guarded.
Colin Belt. 8 in the shot clock. Edgar powers it up, but it rolls off the back of the iron. No. Jorgensen. 4-3. Butler now 3 for 5 from three-point range. Edgar gets it back. Finally tipped in by Colin Belt.
Made baskets. They're getting back into that zone. Aaron Thompson, so smart. We'll show you how he ends up freeing up Paul Jorgensen, even though Thompson not known as an adept shooter.
Oh, good defense by Jones. And now we will have that timeout.
Here's what I mean. Aaron Thompson in transition just kind of sets a little one-man screen, finds Paul Jorgensen. It's Indiana. You knew it was up and in.
Bucks lead the Anteaters 17-9. Let's go inside the Butler huddle with Coach LaVall Jordan.
Doing a hell of a job down here. Keep your ladder on the defensive wall. They got 9 points right now. Just keep going. Don't worry about down there. Just keep going.
The Bigs just made baseline to go and tip it out.
Hey, you know, LaVall Jordan has such a great relationship. As a former Butler player, he brought in Jeff Meyer, who he worked with at Michigan. He brought Omar Lowry, who was with him at UW-Milwaukee. Emerson Campen has been elevated. You see him standing there with the paper kind of folded up. The former player here who's worked his way into being an assistant coach. He divvies up the responsibilities, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. And it really, he told us he's learned to delegate more. And, you know, when you're at UW-Milwaukee, we get here, you want things done your way. There's a lot of trust in that staff. But look for them to try and push off missed shots so they don't have to line up and play against UC Irvine's stingy defense.
There's Kamar Baldwin with a pretty move down the lane.
And we've seen a right-hand little floater. We've seen a left-hand jump shot. Now we see a left-hand drive. Kamar Baldwin with all the ambidextrous moves on display.
One thing we asked Coach Jordan, what were the improvements he'd like to see tonight? And he said, it's on defense. And they are holding a UC Irvine team who averages almost 72 points per game to 4 of 14 from the floor and only 9 points in more than 11 minutes.
That's the second post miss by Colin Belt. This is late father Christian, a great player at University of Washington.
All-time leading scorer for the Huskies.
Play with Detlef Schrempf.
And this is Jordan Tucker, who is the transfer from Duke. Well, that's got to be a goaltender, and it wasn't going to go.
Now, you mentioned Jordan Tucker. He came in and had 10 big points. Did get to play against Indiana, that game where Indiana throws in a 27-footer to beat the Dogs just down the street at Bankers Life. A great day for basketball in the state of Indiana.
It was an incredible game.
Tucker, of course, barely played at Duke. You know, it's so interesting when you transfer in, there's this assumption that all of a sudden you're going to have great success. He's still learning to defend. But last year when he was at Duke, they played 2-3 zone. So during the year in which he sat out, the second semester to the first semester this year, he hadn't really played college man-to-man defense. But he can do that.
Indeed. Good job of finding him. He had set himself beyond the arc, and Butler's back in front by 11.
That 4 spot that Keelan Martin operated in for 4 years just brought them so many different options offensively. Give the ball to Keelan, let something happen.
And he's a natural 3, but he could be a real mismatch at the 4 spot, Jordan Tucker.
No question about it. They mentioned Jordan Tucker. Now, he's still learning to defend, but this, he hasn't forgotten what to do. a good UC Irvine team, and they can't score against the Dogs. Dogs have.
Happy holidays to you from FS1. Big East College basketball. Bulldogs lead 22-11, and they've got a newcomer by the name of Bryce Golden. Number 33, he's a 6'9 freshman from the state of Virginia, suffered shoulder surgery in high school, had it worked on over the summer, but just was cleared on December 1st, and he could be really important in a physical Big East.
Yeah, more than anything, that's the number that he's wearing is Joe Cornette's number. Number 33, who, of course, famously led this team when they hadn't won NCAA tournament game since 1962. Before they went on a run, and Cornette, of course, tragically passed away at the age of 35 years old. It's a big part of this program. It was the legacy that Cornette, that initial NCAA tournament team, leaves behind. Back in 02-03.
Wow. Of course, Butler played in 2 back-to-back national championship games in 2010 and 2011. And we have a whistle and a foul. They would lose to Duke in 2010 and the University of Connecticut in 11. But Brad Stevens did such a marvelous job there now with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, the first year you had Gordon Hayward and Shelvin Mack. The second year you didn't have Gordon Hayward. You had Matt Howard, whose dad sang the national anthem. Ronald Norred.
It's all in the family here at Butler. You swing it right. Spencer Rivers in the game, a senior. Doesn't play that much, but apparently Russell Turner wants a completely different look. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Rivers is going to have to put it up. And he will miss, and it's controlled by Aaron Thompson.
He's chosen to go small to try and match Butler, just get some sort of offense.
Ooh, that's a travel. There's Henry Badley with a mistake.
Badley, a tremendous defensive guard as well. He's going to go take a seat.
Golden sits, McDermott back in. Badley goes to the sideline as well.
If you want to play college basketball at this level, watch what Aaron Thompson does defensively. Catching his breath now, but constantly moving and harassing defensively, as is Mark Baldwin guarding the basketball.
3 is missed by Evan Leonard.
Not a good shot. They can't get good shots.
This is Jordan Tucker again. Took it to the hoop and is fouled and will be at the free throw line for 2 shots. Jordan Tucker became eligible December 15th. That was his debut. Russell Turner having a difficult time with that Butler defense.
And I asked about Jordan about the ego. You know, listen, you're at Duke, and you transfer to Butler, and as great a program as Butler is, it's not seen as at the super high elite level as the Duke recruits. And he's like, look, he was humbled a little bit by not playing much at Duke. Humbled when he got here. But he's also a really humble kid. So humble, in fact, that he got to play in the Indiana game, and he didn't know if he was going to play. Sent Laval Jordan a text afterwards saying, coaches, thanks for the opportunity.
You love to have those kids.
Right? You think a guy's going to walk in and think he should be starting and owns the place because he came from Duke, and he knows you want to play on this court, you got to earn minutes. Got a great looking stroke. You mentioned more of a natural 3-man, but you can make a lot of money as an undersized and skilled 4-man. But you got to show that you can buy in and rebound and defend at the other end of the floor.
Kamar Baldwin has been chasing Max Hazard all over the floor, and Hazard has not been able to make a field goal yet. Cartwright is fouled.
And they're trying to play inside out. Throw the ball into whoever McDermott is guarding. Butler's doing something called, they're shrinking the floor, loading to the basketball, because UCI just doesn't have enough shooting to stretch them out. And then off the dribble, UC Irvine doesn't have anybody who can beat Butler's guards off the bounce.
Rutherford backs his way in, comes back to the right side and misses. Strong rebound by Tucker, then loses it out of bounds.
You can see Tommy Rutherford gets it, and he just kind of goes into old school post like your brother in the driveway, just backing you down against McDermott. And credit McDermott. Despite his thin stature, he's going up defensively.
Rutherford with an offensive foul. 11 points Just over 14 minutes.
McDermott's a great story. Of course, his mom overcame cancer. And she comes from a basketball family. Her brother, I think Garner's the coach at Green Bay. McDermott himself had an illness. I think it turned out to be a staph infection in high school where he lost a ton of weight. And he's just now kind of filling out for that body.
Brunk backs his way and then flips it out high to Tucker, who drives and will be fouled. So Jordan back to the free throw line.
And that's where the size of UC Irvine hurts them defensively. Because Jordan Tucker is really a 3 playing the 4. Now you have a natural post in Elston Jones trying to guard him 22 feet from the basket. He can't keep up with Jordan Tucker.
There was also the second person to foul on Evan Leonard, so he might have to go to the sideline.
Watch how the ball comes off of his hand. Now, when guys can really shoot, and Jordan Tucker can really shoot, it just comes off his hand beautifully. Great backspin, great natural flip.
And the Big East really is wide open this year. Villanova, who's won 2 of the last 3 national championships, a lot of their talent graduated onto the NBA. Villanova expected, again, they were the preseason pick to win this conference, although St. John's has been ruling all. They are 11-0. Rutherford left-hand goal.
And they're going to keep just trying to deliver the body blows of going to McDermott and wear him down because their guards can't seem to get a shot. And then defensively, because they're big and Butler's small, they're going to match with the 2-3 zone.
And Max Hazard, who hit for 32 points earlier this year against Denver, including 10 3-points made, he's only been able to take 1 shot because of the great deep ins by Baldwin. McDermott misses.
I should point out Max Hazard is not that good a shooter that he's going to make. It's just a game where Denver wasn't guarding him, and they were sagging in on the bigs, and he proved that he could shoot.
Well, I will say this. Baldwin is guarding him. Thompson. How did he find Tucker, although Tucker misses?
Hazard let that one. That was a heat check as if he'd hit 2 or 3. UC Irvine seems to be a little frustrated. They're just frustrated offensively.
Well, he had only taken 1 shot and almost 16 minutes now. And after a while, you get a little antsy.
Yeah, it's called being thirsty. That's the basketball expression as Jordan Tucker drives the baseline, steps out of bounds. Not the most aesthetically pleasing of the first half, but Tommy Rutherford going big brother on little brother in the lane. Here's a little left-hand hook in the mouth. Part of UC Irvine's 13-point performance thus far.
Thank you very much, Mike. And how about the next game? Buffalo, number 14 in the nation, unbeaten at Marquette, number 20 in the nation.
Yeah, look, huge game for Marquette. We've seen them take down Wisconsin on Fox early in the year. The Big East as a conference needs Butler to win tonight, Marquette to win tonight, get some of those scalps. And as for Buffalo, just a little plug here, I have a podcast called the All Ball Podcast. You can go to iTunes and download it. I had a great hour discussion with Nate Oates, who's from Watertown, just outside of Milwaukee. He's the head coach of Buffalo. You won't believe how he went from a D3 player and assistant to a high school coach at Romulus High School, now a Division I head coach and a good one at Buffalo.
Hazard, meantime, misses. They are now 6 for 22 from the floor and only 13 points in almost 17 minutes.
You know, it's interesting, in talking to the Butler coaching staff, they've been disappointed with their team's field goal percentage defense, allowing 43% field goal shooting defense. And it's been a key point of emphasis. So far tonight, they have been outstanding against UCF.
Butler unbeaten at home this year, 6-0, shooting 53% from the floor. And that is a foul, and it's now 1 plus the penalty. For UC Irvine, what do they want to do in the last 3:39 of this first half?
They just need to find an offensive rhythm, and it's obvious that they keep trying to attack McDermott defensively. Now checks out of the game after picking up that foul. Now, if they can get a quick look in transition, otherwise throw the ball inside to whomever the four-man is guarding. But, you know, if you don't make free throws, you can't help you out. I mentioned Phelps' dad, who wore number 40 at UW at University of Washington. He wears 40 in his honor.
Jorgensen down low to Nate Fowler. No foul called as the ball knocked out of bounds. But Tucker not afraid because of his quickness to take it to the hoop.
Now this is a small and athletic lineup for Butler. Obviously, we have Jorgensen, who's an elite three-point shooter. And we have Tucker, who's a three-point shooter as a four-man. It should open up the lane for the guard.
And he leads the team in scoring and knocks down a three. That's 10 points for Jordan Tucker. He had to take it quite quickly because there was only 1 second left in the shot clock. Shot clock down to 4. Cartwright had to force it. Butler, great defensive first half. Jorgensen. 4-3.
Now in transition, you got to find 5. And 5 will find 3. Dogs of a bunch.
Butler blitzing the UC Irvine Anteaters, particularly from outside the last 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, they've been playing outstanding defense. Here's Jordan Tucker, 3 on the shot clock, and Colin Bell has his hands up. That's not terrible defense. That's just a beautiful, beautiful shot. And then Jorgensen in transition, another little handoff from Thompson. He has 2 threes that way in the first half.
But for Irvine, when you've only scored 13 points in almost 18 minutes, you are in trouble. They are shooting about 20% from the floor.
I don't think it's crazy to think Butler can win the Big East. You mentioned St. John's. We'll talk about them a little in the second half. I'd love to hear what Steve Lavin has to say after half, former St. John's head coach. St. John's has a lot of talent. They haven't lost a game, haven't played as good a schedule as Butler. But that's a team where if things go poorly, I could see them losing 2 in a row, even 2 or 3 in a row, whereas this Butler team, they can defend, and now you add an elite three-point shooter and scorer who I think is going to get much better in Jordan Tucker. Barely played college basketball. You had that sort of talent who's been given a year to develop as a redshirt. Why not, with the rest of this league really struggling?
Yes, I believe it could be a 14-14 that wins the conference.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe even 13-5.
Yeah.
Marquette's very good.
Marquette's good and they're better defensively, but they're still not great defensively, and they're still dependent on one guy. 15-2 Butler run.
Wow.
And it's not as much Butler, it's just UC Irvine's not scoring. They got 34, which is fine.
Worku. They finally were able to find the bottom of the net. And it's 34-15.
At Los Alamitos High School. He scored 51 in the high school game. He's a scoring guard.
Baldwin gets it down low, but Fowler loses it. And finally saved by Thompson. Plenty of time left in the shot clock with reaching out to him. Aaron, that's his first shot, I think, of the ball game. Yes, it is, and he makes it.
Well, he's not a big-time scorer. He'll do whatever you need. You want him to guard for 40 minutes, he will. You need him to score, he will. That's an offensive foul.
And he was terrific against Presbyterian with a career-high 18 points on 8 of 10 shooting from the floor. Aaron Thompson did a good job defensively on work rate.
Baldwin with a great save with his left hand, does get his foot in. And looks like Russ Turner is going to get a technical foul.
Technical foul on the UC Irvine coach.
Yeah, they're going to have to regroup at halftime.
Russ Turner does not know what he said. What did I say? What did I say?
Well, he's sending an 84% foul shooter to the free throw line in Kamar Baldwin.
Russ, of course, spent some time in the NBA with the Golden State Warriors before getting the UC Irvine job. Wife's the doctor at UCI Medical Center.
Well, he has really developed a fine program.
Yeah, this is not reflective of how good this UC Irvine team is. But this is also, it's hard for a college basketball team. They played a war, a slugfest, won 52-48 at Eastern Michigan 2 nights ago.
Exactly.
We take for granted those NBA guys and how they handle road trips.
This is a team that beat Texas A&M earlier this year.
They won 10 straight road games.
Also won at St. Mary's, but being dominated tonight by Butler in Indianapolis, 38-15. Second foul on Tucker.
You're down 23. You haven't made free throws. You haven't made open shots. And at least make your 2 free throws, get a stop, and try and get one last good look at it. For Butler, great time to go 2 for 1. Lane violation by Butler. Baldwin was in early. And the UCI is so out of whack that they can't even make free throws.
So we'll get one more, but I believe that the ball Jordan has to really be pleased with the way his team has fought back. They came in with a record of 8-3. Their losses to Dayton, to St. Louis, and also to Indiana. St. Louis, they did not play well, but Indiana, they did play well.
They did play well. They shot the ball terribly against St. Louis. But again, it's a different team when you add in Jordan Tucker. It's just adding a different caliber of athlete. Spreads out your entire offense and gives you somebody that if McDermott's in foul trouble, I'd love to see him go super small.
Tucker goes to the left side. Thompson at the point to play for the final shot. Separation, actually separation of about almost 8-9 seconds. Shot clock and game clock. Now they'll go to work. Jorgensen puts it up. Misses the 3. But Butler gets it back, and now they will go for the final shot. Tucker.
What a half.
Knocks down the 3. A nice little hop as he heads to the locker room. What a spectacular first half for Jordan Tucker, the transfer from Duke.
Under shooter's role in the dictionary, I give you Jordan Tucker. He catches. It's kind of like a grenade. Shot clock running down. Got to get rid of it. But the beautiful backspin, the carom, up and in.
Here in Indianapolis, Indiana, all anteaters in the first half leading UC Irvine 41-17. Mike and Steve will be back with us right after this. FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. From Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the Butler Bulldogs with a commanding 41-17 lead on UC Irvine. Steve Biziak along with Doug Geiflin. And Doug, when the game started, we really thought UC Irvine was an outstanding team, but Butler came focused and knew the Anteaters were good.
Yeah, look, we could fall in love with the three-point shots. They made 7 out of 13 the first half. Butler did. We could fall in love with some of the offensive basketball, but it's the defensive end. UCI hasn't made a three, but it's because of Butler's defense. It's the defensive end. UCI shooting 28% from the floor. There's no tricks. It's man-to-man defense. And where they're undersized, they're playing physical in the low post. They're not allowing dribble penetration. This has been a bludgeoning, but it's because of what Butler's been able to take UCI out of at UC Irvine's offensive end.
And that's our Jeep Grand Cherokee stat comparison. And Doug, it really starts with Baldwin and Thompson, their defensive ability out top to slow down UC Irvine's offense, where they've been unable to get in any kind of rhythm.
Yep, 0 assists. Not a single assist in the first half.
Max Hazard, their leading scorer, hasn't scored. As a matter of fact, the backcourt of Hazard, Leonard, Cartwright, and Edgar just 1 for 11 from the floor. And they turn it over. And here comes Kamar Baldwin, and he is fouled.
I mean, you don't get a shot. You run all that offense, and you don't get a shot. Just putting your head down, and Jorgensen does it. Part of it is spacing based, and part of the reason that they don't have great spacing, UCI, is they don't have great shooters. And so Butler they're swiping at the basketball. UC Irvine turned the ball over because that's a 10th turnover in the evening.
Jorgensen, Thompson, McDermott, Fowler, and Baldwin get the start for the Bulldogs in this second half. Shot clock down to 7. Baldwin drives, spins back, and misses the shot. And Jones loses it out of bounds, but they say last touched by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think Baldwin got hit on the elbow, as Val Jordan said as much. But he, like every one of the Butler coaches, just great bench decorum.
Hazard again picked up defensively by Baldwin. Leonard goes low to Jones. Shot clock down to 5, and Elston throws it up with the left hand and scores.
Yeah, Elston Jones, he's left-handed. He's going left no matter what. Nate Fowler's trying to make him spin back over his left shoulder to use his right hand, and Elston Jones has none of it. The spacing, Butler so much better space. Even though this is not a great shooting lineup on the floor right now. Dermott obviously can shoot.
And he gets hammered as he takes it to the basket and goes tumbling down. Who won it for the free throw line.
And that's the difference here. He's not a great driver, but because he has Jonathan Galloway, all of 6'9", 6'10", he's not great at defending out in the perimeter, guarding him. He shot fakes, puts it on the deck, and drives to the hole.
And he is a fine foul shooter at 80%. Hails from Anderson, Indiana, and of course, basketball so popular in this state, and of course here in Hinkle Fieldhouse. This was the setting for the movie Hoosiers with their great coach Gene Hackman.
The final scene of Hoosiers, right?
Yes.
This was not the small little gym.
No.
My team is on the floor.
Exactly.
This
is where the picket fence, though, was designed.
Where they ran the big fence. Don't get caught watch the paint dry. I'll make it.
Hazard knocks down the 3. His first bucket made tonight.
And if that name sounds familiar, of course, his brother played at Arizona. His grandpa was the late, great Walt Hazard.
Part of that 65 team by John Wooden, Hazard, and Gail Goodrich. What a backcourt. And Baldwin knocks one down from outside.
Great rhythm shot.
Personal foul was called against Butler.
Steve, let me show you why this Kamar Baldwin shot is so good. He's not a great three-point shooter. Shoot about 28%. So UC Irvine's trying to go under ball screens. So what you want to do is you go over one side, and then you go back over the screen. Now he gets into 18, 19 feet. That's more in his office. Just a smart use of the ball screen.
Cartwright coming off a screen knocks it down, and UC Irvine now with 24 points. in 23 minutes.
Cartwright, a good little shooter, kind of plays at almost a little bit of erratic pace at times offensively.
But you thought he'd be really valuable for Russell Turner because he transferred from a great program in Stanford, Pac-12 conference, but he can help them win the Big West Conference this year.
Correct. Yeah, Big West, not a great league. It used to be when it was the PCAA. It was an unbelievable league back in the mid-'80s, and the WCC was what the Big West has been recently.
Back obviously, in the days with Fresno State, UNLV, and
New Mexico State.
Exactly. Neil McCarthy was the coach there.
Long Beach State, UC Santa Barbara had Jerry Pym, and Brian Shaw was his star. Leon Wood, who played in the Olympic team, was at Cal State Fullerton. UC Irvine had more pros than any of them. Todd Murphy, Scott Brooks, Kevin McGee, Bob Thornton. I mean, not Bob Thornton, but they just had, they played a tiny little Crawford Hall. They built the Brennan Center, which is almost 30 years old. Great building. But the league dynamics have changed, and UC Irvine just a great academic school.
And they'll be battling the likes of Cal State Fullerton, UC Davis, Long Beach State this year for that league title. Cartwright tries to run it down, but goes out of bounds with it.
And that's the same exact play that Butler ran early in the game to get Sean McDermott an open three. The difference isn't anything in the coaching and the execution, it's just in the personnel. McDermott comes in, knocks it down. Cartwright, who just hit a jump shot. Russ Turner tries to reward him, feed the hot shooter, who misses 3 feet to the left.
Cartwright getting after Thompson defensively.
I mentioned Big Bob Thornton. UC Irvine used to just have players. Once a year they would beat UNLV. Crawford Hall, their old gym had stands on only one side, had a stage on the other. You got all these gazelles run up and down the court in this tiny little building.
I remember Scotty Brooks when he was there. He was tough.
24 a game, a transfer from TCU.
Here is Jordan Tucker leading both teams in scoring with 13 points. That, of course, is a career high. Before he transferred from Duke, he only played 2 games for Duke and transferred at the semester break.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, part of the kind of the transfer culture. Like, Jordan Tucker is the perfect example of, in all honesty, and this is not personal to him, what's wrong with college basketball. You know, like if he just stays, all those guys go pro. He's playing this year, even with those 3 gazelles that come in. But guys, you know, you see, and you're like, well, they're better than me. They're going pro. But this is a level of basketball where he'll have an incredible career. The only issue with Butler taking him is what a screen by Jones. Whoa.
And Aaron Thompson was knocked to the floor.
And the only issue is he's going to graduate with a year left, and he'll have a chance, if he's not perfectly happy here, to go to another school. No one has any patience to sit and wait. And look, I'll be honest, I didn't want to go to a school where I was going to sit, but you go, you buy in, at least go through the entire season.
Tucker was fouled, no foul called, and once again, when he took it to the hoop, nothing called again.
Maybe they're playing call your own, and you know.
Exactly. Evan Leonard with the fade. He came in averaging 9 points per game with a season-high 22 in that big win over St. Mary's. And UCI starts the second half hot, hitting 4 of their 5 shots. But all that can do is cut the Butler lead to 20. And we've got a timeout on the floor with 15:32 to play in this game. It's all Butler tonight, 46-26. Sunday, it's a great slate of NFL action highlighted by the Buccaneers facing off against Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys, or Khalil Mack and the Bears taking on the 49ers. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check local listings for the game in your area.
You know what the hottest ticket in Los Angeles is? I kid you not. Tomorrow night, NFL Network, the Chargers welcoming the Baltimore Ravens, who just announced on Twitter that they're working an extension for John Harbaugh.
Speaking of Twitter, the Anteaters, again, are under the Doug's best nicknames in Division I college basketball. Blue Hose or other.
Blue Hose is pretty good. And I like spiders because spiders actually strike fear into people. Right? Like people have a legit, like, you don't have a legit fear over a tiger or a panther.
Well,
or a bulldog.
Well, how about Diamondbacks?
Yeah, but you
Rattlers.
see it. But how often in your life the likelihood you're going to see a Diamondback sting? You're going to see a spider. You're going to see a spider probably tonight.
This is Evan Leonard with the fade, and he gets it to fall. Leonard now with 4 points on the evening, cuts the Butler lead to 18. They made 5 of their 6 shots in this half. Nate Fowler way out top, misses.
See, that can't happen you get the shot you want. And Fowler, you'll see him in his career slowly learn to step out. We mentioned Matt Howard. Matt Howard started his career here at Butler as a non-3-point shooter. By the time he graduated, he could really hit that. But you get the shot you want. UC Irvine gets caught just ball watching and gives up an offensive board.
And Leonard picks up his 3rd personal foul of the game. And we have another foul, and this time
Fouls on the Anteaters 14, Evan Leonard.
That's Evan Leonard's 4th personal foul, so he has to come out. And they'll bring on J.C. Butler, I believe, yes. J.C. Butler doesn't play that much, a 6'5", 200-pound freshman from Racine, Wisconsin.
Karan Butler's son.
Good player in the NBA. McDermott misses.
Another non-box out.
Another opportunity for the Bulldogs.
A frustrating defensive possession as Evan Leonard picks up 2 quick fouls. Now another possession. Chance to run an underneath out-of-bounds play.
Karon's son averaged 26 points per game in high school. Get some quality minutes here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. And he's covering Baldwin, who backs out. Joey Brunk now in the game along with McDermott. Jorgensen forced that pass. Butler misses. And Butler grabs the rebound. Jorgensen spins out. Ooh.
Where's he going? Where are you going?
I'm not sure. Yasu Worku.
Yasu Worku's a good player, but the frustration, he almost went Heisman, right? Like just try and stick out your hand like the Heisman Trophy pose and credit Thompson. Aaron Thompson just kind of pulls out the chair on him, slides to the floor. That's not a foul.
But he got the first down.
He did get the first down. Because he didn't slide feet first. If you slide feet first, it's right where you begin the slide, right?
Exactly. Joey Brunk is fouled.
Joey Brunk, a great story. He's worked his way into shape. Going to work in the low post on Elston Jones.
Joey Brunk got the line.
Brunk's dad died. Cancer going back a year ago, April. He was devastated by it. He has rededicated himself and has earned major minutes here for the Dogs.
And that was during his freshman year. He only played 7 games while his dad was ill, then dropped off the team to help out his family, and his father would pass away in April of 17.
And they were doing 3-point shooting drills, and everybody had to do it. And so he turned to LaVall Jordan and said, Coach, can I take this in the game? LaVall Jordan said, if you have to ask, you already know the answer.
There you go. I remember when Don Nelson designed a 3-point play for Manute Bol, and he made it.
Yeah, Manute Bol. And the Manute Bol son obviously out injured right now for Oregon, but a very good 3-point shooter as a freshman for the Ducks.
47-28 here.
Okay, so speaking of the Ducks, you and I were talking about Old Mac Court. I consider this place one of the cathedrals of the sport. Right? And they did an amazing job in 2014 redoing it and keeping the spirit of it.
Ooh, count the basket.
John Edgar. Good mid-range score.
Third on the team.
As the Anteaters just trying to kind of hang around.
Shot after the basket.
Jumps up and gets fouled. Finishes the free throw.
Yeah, you and I were talking about the great college basketball facilities that we've seen in our tenure in the game, and obviously McCourt and Eugene and Allen Fieldhouse is
Allen Fieldhouse,
cathedral.
Gallagher Iba Arena, which I don't love. They made it bigger and bolder. I like the one with smaller, much like Ahern Fieldhouse at Kansas State where they don't play. This place, if you haven't been, it's a bucket list. And the only reason UC Irvine came to play here is because Barry Collier, who's the athletic director, the former coach, is of course close with Mike Montgomery. And that's who Russ Turner worked for with Golden State Warriors, was Mike Montgomery. Barry Collier said, I'll set up a guarantee game. You'll come out, get a chance to bring your son, Darius, and see Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Cartwright spins off, tries to set a screen for a teammate.
This defense is so good, they just can't get anything going.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think that LaVall Jordan, when this game ends and he's talking with the press, I think he'll be praising his defense. That's the 4th foul on Sean McDermott.
Look, the game plan of getting McDermott out of the game has worked. Now we're going to go in, and they're going to play McDermott's really a 3. You can play him at the 4. He's too light in the britches to guard us. We're going to throw it inside. That part has worked. But, and this is one of the things that I think coaches learn with small ball, is, yeah, teams that are big are going to throw it to expose you in the post, but players can't score in the post. They just can't. It's not only, analytics tells you that good players struggle to score in the post. .777 is the PPP, which is low for a post-up shot. And we're talking college post players, it's not great. Additionally, it gets you out of the rest of your offense because all you're worried about is exposing one mismatch. And it wears down that same big guy at the defensive end because you're going to him so often at the offensive end. Sometimes it has the opposite of the intended effect, which I think is what's happened to UCI.
Brunk backing his way and spins back.
What a move.
Beautiful move by Joey Brunk, the redshirt sophomore from Indianapolis Southport. I also think it takes a certain kind of player to really be able to score consistently from that low block. And it doesn't matter how big you are. A guy like Adrian Dantley or Charles Barkley or Mark Aguirre, they weren't that big, but they knew how to operate down low like Brunk this year.
Joey Brunk, master of the pivot. Look, Kevin McHale in the low post.
There you go.
Maine Dogs up 17.
FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Steve Physiak, Doug Gottlieb with you at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Quite a contrast in halves. The Bulldogs absolutely blasted the Anteaters, but the UCI Irvine team much more effective in the second half, outscoring the Bulldogs 15-8.
They couldn't be much less effective.
Nope.
But look, this is where there's plenty of time to make this a game. You got to cut it to 15, then you got to cut it to 10. You get it to 10 by the 8-minute mark, and you feel you're good about yourself, or maybe even the 4-minute mark. And you have good shooters missing free throws, and not boxing out.
And Cartwright, usually an outstanding free throw shooter at 85%, but missed the first. He had 19 starts at Stanford. Missed much of his sophomore year with a serious injury to his right arm. Cuts it to 16 points. Jorgensen will work it up the floor against Max Hazard. That's a clever move, and then a great block by Jones. Or I beg your pardon, it was Galloway. Jonathan Galloway with the block.
Paul Jorgensen, he's just being hawked by Max Hazard. Max Hazard is in him. That was actually blocked twice. That shot was blocked by Robert Cartwright. He should get credit for his third block shot. He only got credit for one in the first half. He had two. But that was a clean block by Cartwright coming up from the weak side.
Galloway with the rebound. He was the two-time Big West Defensive Player of the Year. Third in UCI and blocks. Cartwright misses the three. Chases down his own miss. And Butler gets it back. That could have been a big field goal for the Anteaters. Baldwin drops it in.
That's how, you know, you get an open three from your point guard, you miss. Then you get a drive and a missed layup by John Edgar. And what could have been a 14-point game, now you're staring up at 18.
Hazard. Boy, he has had some rough night. Max Hazard just 1 of 6 from the floor. It was a three-pointer. Jorgensen left hand, yes. You know, he's got a lot of New York in him. Hails from New City, New York. Transfer from George Washington. Ooh, man. Galloway almost got it in the chops.
I don't think Max Hazard knew he was going to throw to him at the last second. Hazard's going to get him up no matter what. He is frustrated at his lack of airspace.
Pretty pass by Jorgensen, but badly can't finish. Irvine has missed their last 5 shots, and it has cost them after they cut it to 16.
Now, first, here's Kamar Baldwin. Right hand, left hand, doesn't matter. Just a teardrop finish with no spin. Beautiful. And then Jorgensen, credit Joey Brunk with the assist. Just kind of clearing out the way like Moses' staff. Ooh, it was the little Red Sea defense. That's one of the things we mentioned post players. Like, one of the things you can do as a post player is you can be a very good screener when you establish post position. And one of the things they do in the NBA is you throw in the low post, and that guy becomes a really good passer and handoff screener. It's not that you don't throw it in the post like UC Irvine is doing, but they spent a good half the game throwing it in the post, expecting, you know, Akeem Olajuwon down there with the dream shake.
Cartwright defended by Thompson, and Aaron was a little too handsy and picks up the personal foul.
Bulldogs 2, Aaron Thompson is first, 6th on the team.
Christian David getting some extended run here for the Dogs. With the foul trouble to McDermott.
Just the first personal on Aaron. Down low, unable to finish, is Tommy Rutherford, but he'll go to the free throw line after he was fouled by Joey Brunk, his second personal foul.
Even Rutherford, and he's shaking his head. They're all shaking. We can't even make a layup.
For UC Irvine, he has 2.
Whether it's fatigue or travel or a combination of the two. It'll be a 3:30 start time out beautiful Irvine, California. You know what's amazing about UCI? Pepperdine gets a ton of love because it's on a bluff overlooking the ocean.
It is a spectacular setting.
It is. UC Irvine is maybe 2 miles from the ocean as well. It's about a mile from where Kobe Bryant lives in Newport Coast, California. Eucalyptus trees line the campus. I would put UC Santa Barbara as the greatest collegiate location I've ever seen. That's the best campus there is, period. Stop.
Location. Location.
Everything
I'm
about
not talking about architecture.
Whatever. I mean,
the view is spectacular.
The view is spectacular. Isla Vista, but UC Irvine's not far behind. Thunderdome's great. Joe Pasternak, the second-year head coach there. He's got a nice club. They'll probably be the biggest challengers, along with Long Beach State, to the Eaters.
What about Cal State Fullerton with Kyle Allman, who's a preseason Player of the Year favorite?
Struggling so far, obviously, as they're in last place record-wise, but a lot of that is based upon schedule.
Tapping it in is Bryce Goldman. His first bucket as a Butler Bulldog.
This is one of those games for Butler. Everybody's getting in. It's a dream scenario for players and coaches. Because remember, they're going to be gone until December 26th. Then on the 29th, they get another game against Florida, who they beat in the Bahamas earlier this year. You don't want to leave town on a bad note. And here's Golden's first point. I mentioned the fact that he wears Joel Cornette's number 33. Called the Cornette family to ask them if it was okay to wear number 33.
Tommy Rutherford, 42 at the line for the 18ers, still having 1-1.
Golden looking like he's using a one guard. Nice little fade. Hair up top, to use a little trim when he goes home for Christmas.
He'll hear about that from his brother.
But listen, we would always. When I played Oklahoma State for Eddie Sutton, we would have the game same time of year, and the coaches would not give us our airline tickets until after the game. You want to go home? You show us. You earn the right to go home, brother.
And Butler will be going home tomorrow for the Christmas break,
right.
And they've got to come back on what, the 26th or 27th?
26th.
26th.
They're down to Gainesville, take on the Gators.
Thompson defended by Hazard. Jorgensen.
Not the guy to leave open in your 2-3 zone.
Know the shooters. Eight minutes to play. Hazard. He has had one of those nights. 1 of 8 from the floor for Max Hazard.
Anybody can miss shot. He's not taking great shots, right? Something's about rhythm shots. This is a rhythm shot. On time, on balance, up, splash. Dogs. Let the arrows fly.
And there's Tripp. His birthday's coming up on Sunday, so happy birthday, Tripp. 7 years young.
Red Brindle, English Bulldog. That's a good dog right there. You know they're born all by cesarean section, right? It's so large.
I did know that. Did not know that.
There you go. Toughness of the English Bulldog, trying to be reflected with the toughness of Butler's defense. Your team, you know, that's the hard thing about now the net ratings as opposed to the RPI ratings is when you take a look at Marquette, who you're going to see. You mentioned you got Joey and Sam Hauser. And when you're playing a freshman that much, he's going to improve greatly by January, February. It's hard to tell the numbers of when you played in November. This Jordan Tucker didn't play the first semester for Butler. They're a completely different team with his offense coming in off the bench.
And you just saw Kamar Baldwin come back into the game. I did the game last year when Butler hosted Marquette, and Baldwin completely took Howard out of the game in that first half.
The big challenge, great block by Aaron Thompson. The challenge for Buffalo tonight, they're very good defense in the backcourt, is can you keep Marcus Howard off the foul line? Especially in that new building, which is beautiful in downtown Milwaukee. It'll be a great atmosphere. Can you defend him without fouling?
David on the drive. Knocks it in. Christian David, the 6'6" sophomore from Milton, Ontario. And David came down and held Rutherford.
Christian David, nice little up and under finish. We mentioned Milton, Ontario. He went to Vermont Academy for a year.
42, Tommy Rutherford at
Had
the
a knee
line.
injury actually during his junior year at Vermont Academy. Oh, a great basketball wellspring that's become. It's called the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area.
Yeah, they have produced so many basketball players, not only to the college ranks, but to the NBA now. And it is just outstanding hoops.
We got just an amazing international diverse city and the passion for basketball, which I mean, you'd have to trace back when they first got the Raptors and how old these kids are. It tracks exactly when, you know, Damon Stoudemire, Mighty Mouse, on to others. It changed the scene and made basketball a cool thing. Great coaching.
Baldwin backs it out to Jordan Tucker. come off the bench for a career-high 14 points. Yasu Werko back in the game. They have had a devil of a time down in that low block, but finally knocking in is Jonathan Galloway.
Galloway on the nice roll. Yeah, I mean, even he needed 2 shots at that one in order to get it to go in.
UC Irvine will be off until they play at the University of Pacific in Stockton on the 29th of December and play Rio Grande. Golden misses.
And we mentioned Damon Stoudemire, who's now the coach of UOP, University of the Pacific.
Spencer Rivers. Irvine had made just 2 of their previous 10 shots, but they cut it to 20, nearing the 5-minute mark. And a steal by Yasu Werko. Galloway knocks it in, and timeout called by Butler. And it has nothing to do with the score, but it has to be about the rhythm, the intensity with the way the Bulldogs have played for the last couple of minutes.
Or lack thereof.
Yes. With a record of 11-2, their best start since the 81-82 season, and their leading scorer is Max Hazard, but he has not been a hazard tonight. Came in averaging almost 11 points per game, but just 3 on 1 of 7 shooting from three-point range after firing 41% of the time first 13 games.
Look, the problem is he put it on tape, right? It's on tape out there, and so you put 7 threes on tape. And no, he's not a 7 to 10 three-point make. You know, he's only made 30 all year. He made 10 in that game. But he's a better player than he's played tonight. But he's playing against 2 dynamic, Big East caliber, super athletic defensive guards who aren't letting him up for any air. And then a team that is really shrinking the floor on them and loading up to every action that UC Irvine runs.
And the Big East always has great defensive guards. I mean, Baldwin and Thompson this year, last year Kyrie Thomas of Creighton, and Jalen Brunson, who was the player of the year. Outstanding defenders.
And really, that's the reason Marquette, in spite of their prodigious offensive skill, hasn't been able to win enough games in the Big East. And this year, they should be much better defensively in the league. And the league's not as good this year because he lost so many players to graduation in the NBA draft.
Rivers looking low to Elston Jones, who backs his way in. And then they throw it away. Well,
Elston Jones
last touch by Butler.
Elston Jones needs himself a counter move. By counter move, I mean, it's pretty obvious. He likes to catch it, go to his left hand. Needs a shot fake, step through to the right hand, or just a reverse pivot. You put it on tape, and you're going to get somebody's attention when they're watching film.
And then when a big man puts it to the floor, you're asking for trouble, and Butler comes up with a steal. McDermott spins it back outside to Thompson. Inside 4 minutes to play. Jorgensen with 17 on the night. Leads all scorers. Give him 19, I beg your pardon. 19 points. Butler dealing from outside, 9 of 17 from three-point range. Well, Jones went to the right.
There you go.
Jones scores the basket as a foul on the Bulldogs. 51.
Now, Paul Jorgensen has had an outstanding game. And George Washington transfer. You're a little bit late. He's not. Dogs up 19. Mythological Greek god, messenger of the sea. Of course, the Triton carried a trident.
Yes.
Right? And Breck had a trident in Anchorman, right? Remember? Breck killed a man in Anchorman? So maybe that's where he's getting it from.
Oh, man.
That escalated quickly. Eaters doing well. Blue Hose, that's Presbyterian. Spiders. A lot of people not admitting to anachrophobia. Richmond Spiders. And other listed 30%.
Other ones that Lumberjacks, Northern Arizona.
There's also
Razorbacks.
Stephen F. Austin is also Lumberjacks.
Yes, exactly.
Razorbacks. If Razorbacks won, I would make you call the Hogs. In the meantime, just let it go. You got the
Musketeers of Xavier.
You got the Buffalo Bulls coming up against Marquette. Now, Marquette is known as the Golden Eagles, but anybody with a grain of courage calls them still the Warriors.
Right.
Used to be the Hilltop
National Championship with Bo Ellis and Butch Lee.
Bo Ellis recruited me.
Really?
Yeah, to Marquette. He was an assistant to Mike Dean. Bo Ellis sweats when he eats. Every time he eats something, he sweats.
Only you.
That's full contact eating there.
And timeout is called by Butler with 2:55 to play, and the Bulldogs leading by 17. And
so that's the thing about the Big East is people are going crazy about the early season losses. Butler's gotten better. Marquette's legit. We'll see a little bit later on in Fox.
9-3, and UC Irvine will lose for the third time. But Doug's biggest surprises in the Big East Conference this year.
Well, look, I think overall the conference struggling has been surprising to me. I thought Creighton would be a little bit better. St. John's cohesion so far has been terrific, and maybe the biggest surprise is Xavier. You know, obviously, you lose your coach to Louisville, and you lose two of your all-time great scorers, but that's just been a program that's reloaded. Between Quentin Gooden missing 2 games because of injury and struggling with his jump shot, Najee Marshall at times not being locked in. Xavier team at 7-5 right now. Obviously, Hawaii was kind of a disaster for them, but I'm more surprised by how they were blown out by Missouri the other night.
And you would think that if St. John's continues to win, I mean, they're 11-0, and they're still not in the top 20, top 25.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like a product of the schedule they play. But Rutgers is like the best team they played. VCU, they beat by 1. That's their best win. It doesn't matter. I mean, you know, you win 25 games, they got to find 68 teams, and everybody knows Shamori Pines can play.
Yeah, he might be the player of the year this season for St. John's.
Yeah, but you bring in Mustafa Heron, you know, transfer from Auburn, he gets to play right away. You wonder, will they stay cohesive when they hit adversity? They're going to hit adversity in this league. And Villanova, as good as they were, they'd come in here and they'd lose to Butler. And you stick together through the tough times when the schedule picks up.
I'll always remember a conversation I had with Kansas State coach Jack Hartman when his team was like 9-0 and he was in a lousy mood. And I said, Coach, you're 9-0. What's the problem? He said, it's December. He says, how can I teach them anything if they keep on winning?
Yeah. We do learn a lot more from losing.
Well, then the Anteaters will learn from this bitter defeat. They won on the road at Eastern Michigan just 2 nights ago, impressively 52-48.
When you end up 3-1 in guaranteed games, a win over Texas A&M, they're not going to. They won't be an at-large worthy team, based upon how the numbers tell you. But to win 3 guaranteed games, pretty outstanding stuff.
Yeah, usually from a conference like the Big West Conference, you have to win that postseason tournament to get an invite.
Well, there were times back when Utah State was in the league that Utah State would like to make the argument, but their schedule wasn't good enough. This team played a good enough schedule, but the Utah State loss by UCI as well as this thumping here on national TV doesn't help their case.
Jorgensen leads with 19 points, leading all scorers. 6 of 14 from the floor and 5 of 7 from three-point range.
Butler basketball.
And coming back in the game for the Anteaters is J.C. Butler. Also coming in is Campbell Donovan, 5'11" sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, a walk-on. And Baldwin getting a nice round of applause, particularly for his defense.
Rule number one, you got to get the walk on a shot. Got to give him a Christmas present.
You're right.
The other rule is no one's calling any fouls right now, so don't expect it. There's no planes to catch, but you don't want to be the guy that slows this game down if you're one of 3 officials. Just go play and don't complain.
Come on, get it to Donovan. Nope, they throw it away. Cartwright is fouled by Donovan.
That's okay. Donovan got in the
stat sheet. Personal foul.
Can't believe a Butler guy walk-on doesn't come in off the bench taking a charge.
Number 3, Robert Cartwright at the line for the Anteaters. He'll have 2.
What was it last year? While Jordan was praising the defense of the freshman Aaron Thompson, wherein he took 4 charges in one game against Ohio State. Tough kid. Brunk comes out.
Donovan was actually a great high school player. Scored nearly 2,000 points. He's going to go to DePaul University, play D3 ball instead. Wanted to come here. But he just wanted a jersey, not a number.
He might want him at the free throw line for a couple of shots.
That was on the Anteaters 25. Spencer Rivers is second. And at the line for your Bulldogs, 0. Campbell Donovan, he'll have 2.
He scored 3 points this year. Give him 4. Now he's on the scoreboard with a foul and a point. Teammates love it. And the work that he puts in during practice with the scout team. Makes both shots.
Fouls on the Bulldogs, 33. Bryce Goldman is third.
Third personal foul on Bryce Goldman, the freshman we talked about in the first half, who suffered shoulder surgery after injuring himself his senior year in high school. The surgery came in the summer, but he was cleared to play on December 1st. Tonight is his first game.
Get a chance to see Solomon Riddell, redshirt freshman, 7'1". You remember UC Irvine when they made the tournament a couple years ago, they had Mamadou Ndiaye, all 7'6", 7'7". Riddell, much more of a shooter.
Where's Mamadou now?
He lives in Los Angeles. He's not currently playing. Whereas if you go back 10, 15 years ago, he was a first-round draft pick without any question. The sport has changed.
Taylor with the miss. David ahead of the pack. And Butler will win their 9th game this year. They are 9-3. The UCI Anteaters will fall to 11-3. Nice birthday present for Laval Jordan, whose family will be welcoming 40 of their family members over the Christmas holidays.
And look, this is the perfect setup for Butler. You beat a team, they go out and win their league, and when you wait for Selection Sunday, you beat a league champion. That's going to help your net rating. UC Irvine's a good team. Butler was outstanding tonight. The defensive end, something really to build on as they continue to improve with the emergence of Jordan Tucker off of redshirt.
Well, here at wonderful old historic Hinkle Fieldhouse, it's all the Butler Bulldogs. You've been watching Big East College basketball on FS1 from Indianapolis, where the final score is UC Irvine 54 and Butler 71. For my partner, Doug Gottlieb, I'm Steve Pizziot, saying thanks for watching and have a great holiday season, everyone.